Welcome to the podcast of madness. I am, of course, Mike. That is Ben. Ben,
Yeah.
what's wrong?
You sprayed bleach in my eyes.
And our special guest. Would you like to introduce yourself, sir?
I'm Chris.
And it's Chris.
Very solid.
Let's do a more, extreme introduction. And our special guest today,
Chris.
I feel very special.
Exactly.
Chris is Ben's friend. Just
Yes.
met him now,
Yep.
so he's my friend. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
there you go.
There we go.
And we're going to talk about something that Ben and I have talked about before in our anime podcast, which is one of the animes, which
Candy.
is called
I think you just got sprayed with.
Bleach.
Bleach. Oh, okay. Bleach. Right. Yes.
Reminded you just a minute ago.
Bleach.
For you, those of you that don't know, Bleach was an anime that came out in the early 2000s. I believe the last of the manga was produced in 2016. The anime series
I believe so. Yeah.
cut off in 2014. So, just a heads up, there might be some spoilers in here if you never saw Bleach. We're going to try our best to not give out spoilers on what we're going to talk about.
Beforehand, maybe put a timestamp.
A little timestamp here.
We're not trolls here just because this man's picture of me is a troll in his phone. There's a story behind that too.
When you see me look at my wristwatch, which isn't on, then you know that's the timestamp for spoilers. The new Bleach, not series, arc
yeah.
is coming out
It's supposed to resume
October
after
2022.
How many years now?
And if you want,
We're talking 6 years.
yeah.
if you want videography evidence of this man being a non-believer of it coming back, it's on my first podcast I did with him on Talk to Me with Mike V. It's on my second podcast I did with him with Talk to Me with Mike V. And it's on the third podcast that we did about the anime.
Listen, I've just been let down so many
I
times.
mean, how many announcements have there been? Suggested announcements have there been made that it may be coming back and they never did?
I know. That's what I'm saying. So I'm just saying.
The fan base has been disheartened so many times.
Toxic.
before. They're not toxic.
I think they're a little toxic sometimes. Have you
It
read
depends
some
on
of those
what
Bleach
discuss-
forums?
It depends on what discussion.
Well, of course, the new arc is called The 1,000-Year Blood War, based off the manga of The 1,000-Year Blood War, which
Yep.
I have not read. I do know some things, and I actually guessed
He
some
might know
things.
some spoilers.
He probably does.
I guessed some things with Ben completely without reading the manga at all, which I think I got right. But anyway, so we're going to talk a little bit
Sure.
about that. So first, why don't we go into a little bit about how you guys met and the love for Bleach?
Okay, so we met working as coworkers.
CBS in 2012, no, 2013, excuse me.
Something like that, yeah.
Back when
Yeah.
CBS only used half a rainforest to use seats.
Right.
They're notorious for it. We all know.
CBS is never going to sponsor us.
No. But
I'm
yeah.
sorry ahead of time.
Sorry. Yeah, we worked for CBS, and then we just I don't know, we had some good banter going back and forth, and we discovered that we both loved anime and sci-fi and weird nerd things. Nerd alert. Oh. Why'd you look at me?
Why'd you look at me?
We're literally wearing,
Well,
pop culture shirts,
yeah,
so
yeah.
go figure. We're
Culture shirts, and he's just a collection of madness.
He's representing.
You can get this T-shirt now on patreon.com/collection of madness.
Yes, that's
Plug
correct.
and plug.
Shamelessly.
Shamelessly.
Shamelessly
Yeah, and then we started discussing things. We would joke around, and at one point, while watching the series, we actually came up with our own Zanpakutos, and we were joking around with what their abilities would be. So mine was binary pulsar. It was going to be a two-bladed katana, like two blades on the same hilt.
Okay.
And it was basically how each of them have different they had spirit animals or things that were their Zanpakuto.
Yes.
So mine would basically be a binary pulsar,
Okay.
which is kind of OP, but
Only a little.
I thought of an idea for that though too.
Yeah, we both realized, joking.
Well,
if they
what
were
was
going to be serious, we'd have to rein them in a little bit.
yours was better though, because yours.
Mine was Aizen Chair Sama level. if you know the Chair Sama meme that went around,
What?
you have to look up Chair Sama after we're done.
We'll do it now.
Do it
Look
now.
up Bleach Chair Sama. There's this whole joke in the community about it.
Oh
but-
really? I
Yeah.
don't think I've even.
Well, be careful. It might spoil some things for you. So that's the only thing. It may spoil some things. Hopefully not.
He doesn't care, probably.
I hope he doesn't care. Because might just ruin a huge piece.
Anyways, mine was the binary pulsar. Yours was
What was Game Breaker, and then so there was the Shikai level, which is just it's kind of like the Jane Genie cheat, where just you got like the Mario Fire Flower basically, and like you get like the fire flowers. You might get like like the spread gun from like Contra,
Right,
Kind of like
yeah.
that joke. And then the Bankai was like the Konami code, literally.
Right,
the
yeah.
Konami code, and you just get into God mode.
but because it was so OP, you made it battery powered.
Right, yeah. So you have the Soul Society equivalent of spirit batteries, basically. So that way there's a time limit. It drains super fast. It's basically like you had like the Super Saiyan 3 level up, like you had to like get your
Like that
attacks
tiny
up.
little window of like I have the most powerful form in the world, but it only lasts 5 minutes.
Yeah, I mean realistically.
But I thought we even had an extension
there
cord
was
you
an
could plug in.
extension cord, like, it was like a ratio.
Anybody
arm,
have an
just
outlet?
It just follows you around.
I thought of that because that's like what the Clancy's did. Like they collected reishi.
Right.
So you just collect reishi with like the little battery,
And then
the
just-
little extension
yeah.
cord, and then you just keep it.
It's like a little backpack battery power.
It is like you basically had to keep multiple batteries on you, or I hope you replace.
So a chair.
Goodness, and then you keep it going.
So a chair-sama is the ultimate being of Bleachverse, able to casually defeat the likes of Chuck Norris, Morgan Freeman, Yanwak wanked, though he lost due to wanting to reunite with a table kun.
What?
I don't know what that
It
means.
goes on for quite a while.
Oh wow.
And the stimulus patience of merely by being the most ultimate array of suns gathered into one consistent sun, exploding into one sun. What is this?
So again, I don't want to spoil anything, but there was this scene in Bleach, which was like, there's this whole scene in the manga that occurred,
Yeah.
and when it occurred, like everybody was like, "This thing survived that." So then there's a joke about Charisama being like the ultimate being.
Gotcha.
Because it
Okay.
survived this thing that.
Okay.
Right.
And the thing is, the reasoning behind it is like and it's been like 4 years or no 6 years.
It's been a while since I've read it. So.
I haven't really reread it since I finished it after it ended.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But basically, it was like the last thing standing, other than the characters that were involved in the scene. Like everything else is gone except for Charisama. So then this whole joke started from it, and there you go.
Chair-sama is the most powerful being in the world.
Basically, that's what it was. It's like the chair survived. Nothing else did, but the chair survived. So the chair was born. And there you go. That's how it all happened.
Oh, man. Well, the more you know.
The more you know.
You know.
Do we have the little like NBC rainbow thing?
So I actually before 5 years ago didn't watch Bleach through the entire series. All right, so I knew of it and watched it when I was a kid from Toonami. I watched a couple episodes on there. I didn't really get into it, and then I met you.
Yes.
And then we watched
Then
a little bit of
I
it together, and then I
indoctrinated
ended
him.
up watching the whole thing. Probably one of my favorite animes right now, up there. Watch my top 10 Mike's anime list. And through that, I learned a lot about how Bleach tells a wonderful story for 3 seasons and then just kind of goes off the rail, anime-wise, and then kind of just shoves as many fight scenes into the last 2 seasons as you possibly can and makes the most important fight scene very short, in my opinion.
Yeah, but all the fight scenes were really pretty.
And that's all that matters to Ben.
Yeah, they're
It's pretty
light.
lights.
You don't need substance. It looks pretty.
It looks badass.
It doesn't.
I do have to agree. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. Are we gonna like? It's not really a spoiler because it's been out forever.
No, but
Like the whole thing between Aizen and Ichigo. That was like it was hyped up, but it was so
so
short-lived.
long.
I
It
know.
was so short lived, and it was like
I know.
this is like 5 minutes.
Especially,
of, like,
Because they
when
spent
you
all
had
their budget.
literally- especially when you literally had a whole season of all the captains and sub-captains fighting.
Exactly.
and they all literally get curb stomped by the
Yeah. Yeah.
What's your so throughout watching at least anime wise, and we can get into manga too because I know they differ here and there. But what's your favorite Bleach anime fight? What stands out to you the most?
That's a good question.
Yeah, that is a good question. Are you asking it to both of us?
All
Or-
three of us.
Okay, all 3 of us. I'd have to say probably when Ichigo goes ape shit in
Well,
Wickham.
okay, there was a few times
Full
that
hollow
you
mode?
specified-
When he goes full hollow
Against Ukiura.
in Ukiura, yeah, with the battle with Ukiura, he just like pulled his hand out and his sword's just like. that was definitely the most badass part. I
Yeah,
think.
definitely probably one of my favorites too. Chris?
I mean, so this probably goes into partially like a nostalgia thing too, from when I was, because so I was introduced to it when I was with my friend who was also my neighbor, and I got introduced to Bleach during the Soul Society arc, like when Yoraichi was saving Ichigo from Yaki
you're
on the
right.
bridge.
Yeah.
That was
Okay.
my first introduction. I was like, this looks interesting, but like I don't know anything going on. So I went on the internet to try to find more episodes, and I just happened to like stumble into when the Arrancar arc was really about to pick up.
Right,
When,
yeah.
When Grimmjow and Ichigo fought the first time.
Right.
Like,
Oh,
I caught it,
okay.
like, right after they're like,
That
oh.
was a pretty epic battle.
Yeah, it was an epic. Well, all the fights because there's a it's a
Yeah.
series of fights which is
Right.
nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it built up this rivalry and this competitive spirit between them.
Right.
But yeah, like I saw this like, it's kind of like, what am I watching right now? Because literally like. Renji's was like, man, I hope you're ready for this Ichigo. And you see Ichigo getting curb stomped by Grimmjow the entire time. And
Right.
Grimmjow's just dancing around having the time of his life, and it's like, yeah, this dude's outclassed.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pretty much.
That's probably Grimmjow Ichigo 2 is my favorite fight scene out there. It's the one
Well,
that
that was
stands
really
out to
well
me.
done.
Yeah.
It gave it like the story and substance it needed.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah.
For them, generally speaking, I mean, it was kind of like the way they kind of incorporated Orihime was like, I guess like she had to do something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you?
It was supposed to be her arc.
See, her whole thing from the beginning was, I'm the comedy relief, and now it's like, oh, I'm an actual love interest, even though Ichigo should have ended up with
Well,
Rukia, but that's
necessarily
my
supposed to
opinion.
be a comedy relief. Like I feel like it starts out the way like pretty much any manga does.
Yeah.
Where like you build up these characters and their initial story arcs are like, okay, like they gain strength because they wanted to be able to fight and protect.
Right.
But then like you push these characters off to the wayside. Like Chad's more of the comedy relief. I'm sorry, he's the young Chad.
Yeah.
Yes.
He's literally the
He's
young
definitely
Chad.
good.
Like because like Orihime's power is not good. Not to get into it, I guess right now. To avoid spoiling things, but like her character was built up to where she should have been something like, ridiculously powerful in her own sense, and that never really lived
Yeah.
out.
Right,
So
yeah.
in her arc, mind you.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
So
definitely.
I feel like that was one of those disappointing things that was also happened in the series. To be honest.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. What's your favorite?
Grimjow and Ichigo too.
Grimjow, okay.
Yeah. The second
because
one.
it's well
Yeah.
built up. That's the thing. Like,
Yeah.
there's a story and an actual like.
Because they left
A
you at
rivalry
one.
built, yeah.
Like after that fight, it's just like, oh wow, like no, Ichigo sucks. Like most of his fights. And then you get into that second one, he comes back with the hollow mask, and the animation was just beautiful.
Oh, it was
yeah.
beautiful with the
Fight,
second
yeah.
fight. Just
Definitely.
Yeah.
You
If it
see-
wasn't for Full Hollow versus
That's one thing that I'm
Yeah.
hoping with the
Yeah.
new if they do release the new season of Bleach or whatever, that it's going to look good and that drawn
Well,
well.
as
and
long as
stuff.
everything's up to par with the trailer, it probably should be.
Yeah.
It probably should look good. I mean,
I'm not sure if I like the way Getsuga looked. I'll be honest.
Yeah.
well, but I mean, they're supposed to be taken from the manga anyway, which is like because really is the hollow that originated like the Bankai Getsuga, which
Yeah.
is the whole explanation behind like why it's black and has that
Right. Yeah.
kind of hollow aura around it.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
And I think that's the cool thing with it too. Like,
Mhm.
I thought the animation was absolutely wonderful in the last arc. I hated
Oh, yeah.
the last arc, but
Yeah.
their animation was just awesome.
Well,
Yeah.
that's the thing. Like, it's basically
Yeah, I'm
they,
like, what?
Basically, they picked up like the last arc's animation and just enhanced it for like 2022. So you still have the
Yeah.
art style, but it's just,
Right.
it's just cleaner and
But
crisper. That's all
isn't it a
is.
different studio? It's not the same studio, is it?
That I don't remember.
Oh, I think it is a
The only thing
different
I know,
studio.
the only thing I really know about like the studio is that I hope the studio has enough sense to release on like October 31st because it would be great to do it on Halloween.
Oh.
I think that's what they're planning on doing because it says
I mean,
October
why-
2022.
Well, yeah, you might as well like do it
yeah.
on the 31st.
Yeah, that's true.
Just do it on Halloween.
Like I said, I'll believe it when I see it.
Okay, stop downing. Like
Might
even
be a
Kubo's
different
confirmed
studio.
it. Calm down.
I know. It's the first episode's gonna air, and he's gonna be like, I still don't believe it. I'll have to wait till the second episode, and then I'll be, I'll
I
be
do
sure.
agree though with the whole animation, like don't blow all your
I'm
money on
waiting for the
first
next
episode
frame.
and then,
Yeah.
like, and then pull like the Dragon Ball Super episode 5 with the rest of the season.
Oh
Just
my
watch it
gosh,
on TV.
bro! Please, can we talk? Because Dragon Ball is
I-
my favorite anime of all
I
time.
just feel like I would start watching it before you start.
Oh,
I feel like I would start watching the first episode and be like the first 5 seconds, like, all right, I believe it, and then it just goes into a Rickroll. Dun dun.
Monkey jumps out of the hat. It's like, yeah, whatever. No,
Anyway,
but
won't do
that episode when they did Super Saiyan 3 Goku versus Beerus, I felt slapped in the face, disrespected, kicked in the dick. It was so horrible. Like, why?
well, so maybe it's like what everybody does in life, where like you overspend your money and then realize like, oh, I have to pay my rent. And I overspend. So they had to cut back.
Pay my rent.
Why did I buy this Tesla? I have to pay for rent.
It's like, oh, I forgot I had rent due this week. So then you're just like, Let me just go ahead and.
There it is.
It's just like I'm gonna buy the budget sandwich from the gas station. Like, they bought like the budget animation studio for that.
They
week.
just got an intern. They're like, "Do you know how to draw Super Saiyan 3? Good, come here."
Like you're an unpaid intern. You can draw, right?
You can draw, right?
It's fine. You literally are not getting paid for the hours worth of work that has to go into this, and you will be hated for it. But we need an episode.
That's hilarious.
And the intern did it, and here we are now. I mean, in all fairness, they did clean it up in the Blu-ray DVD, I think.
Yeah, they tried to, at least. Anyway, we're on Dragon Ball.
I haven't seen it, so
You can't clean a turd, only to some degree. It's kind of hard.
you can polish them.
You can try.
Apparently.
You can be polished.
Oh, that's true. They actually
Didn't
proved
Mythbusters
they
do
proved
that?
it.
Yeah, Mythbusters proved that you can polish
They did prove it.
poop.
Polish poo.
That's.
They spent hours, but they managed to actually give it a shot.
Spent hours.
This is why you guys tune in. High quality content. Anyways,
So high quality. The highest caliber.
the next question leading into, which you can kind of combine both, or if one is the same thing. Favorite Zanpakuto and favorite Bankai.
Oh,
Favorite
tough because
Zanpakuto and favorite Bankai.
okay, so I can't discuss it because it would be going in the 1,000 Blood War arc. So
Well, here,
I'll discuss.
No, we'll put this here. This is gonna be a spoiler here. Stamped at almost 17 minutes.
I'll do like the one from the 1,000-Year Blood War arc, and then I'll discuss one that's like friendly for
Yeah.
non-anime people.
And we'll go on through that.
Okay,
Go ahead.
sounds good. All right.
So in all honesty, I'd probably have to give it to Your Horrors was like one that was kind of unexpected, expected, and unexpected.
Urahara?
Yeah, because was it Crimson Princess Benihime? I think was actually the translation for
Oh,
the
yeah,
full Bankai
yeah.
name.
Oh yeah,
Right,
yeah.
yeah.
Like which fits his character so well because it's literally like a Bankai that reconstructs
Right.
Yeah.
anything that gets within his range. Which like he was the only one that was able to like deal with the Death Ball guy. I can't remember, and his name's eluding me right now.
Death Ball guy? Or you
Oh,
talking
at the
about-
end
yeah,
when
Check
Gin,
Spot is
yeah.
Stern or D.
Stirred Ritter D.
Yeah, like the death dealing was what his ability.
Man, I
was.
need to
Okay.
reread this stuff.
I need to rewatch. I forget.
His name's eluding me right now, but like the death dealing, which he was like Yohara was really the only one that could stand up to him, and even Yohara still could not technically completely beat him. Like it's not, and you don't find out till after the anime, like in the character books. It's like
Right,
okay,
yeah.
like they survived the attack,
Right.
but like to be able to take down like it was like 4 top-tier characters that were involved in the Death Ball of Doom.
Right, yeah.
It really does say something about like how kind of powerful he was.
I mean, Urahara was a badass.
Yeah.
He
Well,
was.
he was. Like his Bankai was honestly worth the wait, and like, oh, and there's one I would hope that they would expand on too, but we'll talk about like what. Obviously, we're gonna talk about what we want them to do with the storyline later, anyway. So,
True.
but like in terms of like era to that,
Right.
I would say probably one that I would say was probably like kind of enjoyable to watch that was also underused was Byakuya's, just because he had such a refined control over those
Right,
blades.
yeah.
It was really only Ichigo and Yoruichi that could dodge those things.
Right.
Because they had fast enough Shunpo. that-
Dodge.
Dodge this.
I mean, they're really the only two that could do it. Like, realistically, like, anybody else that went up against it, like, they got torn to shreds. Like, even
Right.
Renji got, like, trolled.
Right, yeah.
Did he even make it to the Bankai? I think he got beat out by the Shikai, even. That I don't remember.
I'm trying to remember. Like I
don't
said,
think-
it's been
I'm
a
pretty sure
while
Kawaguchi
since I've read
never
it.
even went as far as uses Bankai on Renji just because, like, his Shikai alone was enough. And it, like, took him down.
Right, yeah.
So, like, it was kind of interesting. Like, all the Zanpakuto were realistically interesting. That and
Oh, yeah.
Kurosuchi's. But
Yeah.
well, his is interesting too, but that's just because he's a horrible monster scientist that does horrible things to his sword. But anyway, no, I've gone on long enough. You
Yeah.
go on,
So,
please.
I feel like this is cheap, but I like. Wow. Why could I think I'm having a brain fart?
Go on.
Go on.
Go on.
Go on.
Ichigo's sword.
Fanboy.
Fanboy.
Hey, you forgot about Zangetsu and Tensa Zangetsu. You totally
Zangetsu.
forgot to.
Wow, I couldn't think of Zangetsu.
Literally the most overused Zanpakuto
Final
in the
Getsu.
series. I mean,
No, but I don't know. I just
That is.
I
yeah.
really like especially Tensa Zangetsu, and especially like in the first season, first story arc. You know, where it just compresses down and he's just ridiculously fast. Like
Yeah.
one of my favorite moves is when he's moving so fast there's like duplicates of him. And he's just like
well, and that does make his Zanpakuto is really unique for that because this is literally the only one that actually does that, where it condenses down instead of expands into
Yeah.
right.
this giant oversized thing.
Right, yeah. It starts off as a giant oversized thing too.
Well, the sword itself, yeah, it's massive.
Right,
But
yeah.
I mean, like, yeah, because that also gives him the advantage of like he's able to stay in Bankai so much longer than everybody else.
Well, yeah, because he's in Shikai all the time. He never like after a certain point he never.
I don't think the duration of his Bankai was linked so much to the Shikai just being permanently released because he's that powerful. It's just his Bankai is condensed. I think that was the explanation. Like his Bankai is condensed,
right? But
forever. And like
I
you said,
mean,
he's
well, that's the other
fast.
thing. Like his Bankai isn't just his sword; it's also his kimono too.
Oh yeah, I know.
So like the fact that his outfit changed—that's his ability of power. And you saw how he like tortured the crap out of Ukiura, and he's like, "Oh, I only have this sleeve left."
Yeah, no. Well,
if I had my whole kimono, I would be more powerful. Oh.
Oh yeah, no, you're talking about when he and Yunohana are like going through what is it because they bring that up too, like when he's making like that crappy spirit bridge that they're using to try to cross
right,
over.
Yeah.
And she's like, let me take the lead. And then they have this discussion. He's like, oh yeah, like I'm only like half power. She's like, what?
Yeah. See, I only have a
I
sleeve.
only have like a sleeve. And she's like, okay, take the lead. I'll fall.
I'll heal you as you go.
Like we might die crossing this bridge, but I'll heal you, so at least we have a chance.
At least we're healed.
Yeah, at least you're healed. No, it's going full power.
But no, I just always like that fact of being so ridiculously fast as being the only part of the Bankai, and I just think that's just really cool. I don't know.
Yeah.
No, it is very unique to his character because nobody else had that.
Yeah, and then also again, spoiler, Tensei Zangetsu's. That
Are you talking about the 1,000-year
Yes.
Blood War?
Yes.
The only thing that irked me about Tensei Zangetsu in that is like they never really revealed anything about it.
I know, unfortunately.
Like it basically, and I mean to continue the spoiler, like it gets broken twice. Like, I
It
remember
does.
reading that chapter too, and then like everybody's reviewed it.
It just turned into a joke. I feel
It
like.
got broken again. Seriously?
Right? Yeah.
Like you hyped up this Bankai and they get snapped off. The very next page.
I feel like he was just trolling us at that point.
He pretty much
Kubo!
like he knew
Sorry,
like, they had a
Kubo.
good interaction the first time, so Kubo's like, let's just do it again for fun.
Let's just do it again for fun.
Let's see how
It'll
everybody
be
reacts
great.
to this. And then everybody's like, really? No.
Yeah. If I had to choose another one, it would probably be Rukia's blade.
You're talking about the Shikai, or you're talking about the Bankai if we're going into like full discussions on this stuff?
Well, spoiler Bankai.
Yeah.
That's all I'll say. Or for those of you who know, you know what I'm talking about. Or the Shikai is actually pretty.
The Shikai is like really impressive too.
And impressive, yeah.
That's in the manga.
Well,
the Shikai.
Oh, the Shikai, okay.
Shikai's
Yeah, the Shikai's in the anime.
Bankai-
That's
Yeah,
when
that's right.
she's as Shokinomai or
That's
whatever.
right. Yeah.
Yeah, her Bankai's
right.
in the manga, which in and of itself is actually like ridiculously impressive too.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like it is fantastically impressive. But obviously, like they're all learning how to control it, so it's one of those things where, as powerful as they are,
Like,
they're not.
I
so overpowered
activated
that it's
this.
unfair.
It could kill all of us, but I'm trying.
Well, I mean, in all fairness, I mean, she kind of could have. It's like it was below sub-zero temperatures.
Yeah.
Spoiler.
Yeah. Well, you don't have to throw the spoiler earlier. It's like timestamps.
Yeah.
Timestamps.
We set up all the
spoilers.
spoilers. There's going to be spoilers in this episode. Oh well. Stop watching.
Well,
Stop
we
whining.
We said it at the beginning. We were trying to be nice.
Yes.
Cool.
So what about you?
Oh, me?
You.
I'd say Zanpakuto, probably Uehara. Why can't I ever say his name
Uehara?
right? Uehara. I don't know. It'd be cool just having a cane, but it's actually a
Kisuke?
sword.
Yeah.
You're just like walking around.
Hat and clogs.
Bankai fanboy Ichigo. I just always loved Ichigo's
No, it's
Bankai.
fine.
I mean,
no, it's fine. Like
that's
I
so
get that.
cool.
Like the Bankai and even like the Mugetsu form was like ridiculous too, which everybody of course
Right.
is like,
Yeah.
that was probably his point of highest power.
yeah.
Like,
Or Rukia's brother's Bankai.
oh yeah, I mean Byakuya Ikuchi's.
Yeah, I like
yeah.
Byakuya.
Yeah, the thing
Byakuya's.
is, I feel like Byakuya Ikuchi's too is one of those ones like everybody goes to as well.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I kind of like out of all the moves and stuff. Like, if all right, let's do another question. Favorite moves. So I like. I really like, Ichigo's move where he flips around, but if I had to pick a different one, it would be Renji's Bankai, where he has the baboon cannon and he's
Yeah.
just
It just comes right out.
Oh, that's really bad balloon cannon.
yeah, that was really cool.
Huh.
I mean that was like one of the. I mean that's kind of like it's almost on the level of like Soifon's like I hate my Bankai, but it's a nuclear weapon.
It's a nuclear warhead.
It is like it's just she never used it because it's like I'm
Right,
stealth
it's too
op, and
flashy.
It's not
And
stealthy.
it's just like it's not even stealthy at all. Here we are.
This is literally like I'm walking through like the middle of the streets. You can see this thing on my arm. I'm not stealthy at all.
Nothing happening here. Everybody look away.
Yeah, basically.
No, but that would be the ultimate stealth force move if you could pull off shooting a rocket and no one noticing.
I mean, why do you need stealth when you can just get a dude to make like a giant reishi box to trap you in and then just get nuked?
Just get nuked.
Halfway through. It's like,
Well, I mean, Hachigen just like here. Let me make this spirit box. He
Make a
can't
giant
escape now.
Just make a giant microwave. Put them in for 5 minutes.
Well, I mean, actually, that was a really clever fight when you think about it, though. Too, like that was actually quite brilliantly done.
Right.
When like he literally
Home
had like
explosions.
the death touch put on his hand,
Right. Yeah.
and then he's just like, okay, well, let me go ahead and just use this on you. So he literally throws his hand back on like the long card number 2.
Yeah.
He starts disintegrating from inside, and then boom, nuclear warhead. Just call it a day. Like,
Call
it's
it a
probably
day.
a little extreme, but it works.
It works.
It works.
Yeah, he was really powerful. All right, favorite move
Does it count anything?
right now. Yeah,
Whatever
anything.
I mean, whatever you
favorite
want. I
It
guess.
could be
move.
Shunko for all I know.
See, but mine's not canon. It's from the Memories of No One. That chick, her
the movie.
special swirly tornado.
Oh, okay.
No,
Yeah.
yeah.
If you watch the
Yeah.
movie, the
Yeah.
the first movie, right? Memories
Yeah,
of
it was in
Nobody.
the-
Yeah.
Memories of No One. Yeah.
Yeah.
Was it the first or the second one?
It was the first
Oh,
one.
you're right, the first one, because I think the Hellverse one was the second one.
Yeah.
Hellverse is the last one.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. Hellverse is the last one because that's like
No, the second one was. Well, there's the Diamond Dust Rebellion, and then there was
wait, was the Diamond Dust Rebellion the first one, and the Memories of Nobody was the second
Memories of
one?
Nobody was definitely the first one.
Okay, I'm
I
not
know
trying to fight
this.
you on this. I'm just asking. I'm asking. Okay, you don't need to get so aggressive.
Oh, jeez.
You're so aggressive.
Treating our guest like this. He's in a
sorry.
I'm never
baddie
coming
bunch.
back now.
He's in a
Thank you.
baddie bunch shirt, man.
I'm never coming
Like-
back now.
I'm trapped behind the brick.
Don't know how to leave.
The best laid brick that absolutely isn't moving right now from the fan.
What fan?
That's called.
There's no fan in here.
That's called.
I'm a fan.
That's what we call Flexibrick.
It's new and inventive.
It's designed for hurricanes and tornadoes.
You love it.
Or fans.
Or fans set on high. That's what you need.
Anyway, yeah, so
right.
that would be my favorite move from the Memories
Okay,
of No One.
Memories
Yeah.
of Nobody. Cool.
Which I think, honestly, while we're on that topic, is a pretty underrated movie.
Oh,
I
it
think
is.
I know nothing much happens, but like the story, I thought really connected with what was happening in the arc at that time. Plus, gave you
Right,
something
yeah,
new,
yeah.
and yeah,
Definitely, yeah.
No, that's something you have to appreciate about it. And I appreciate that with the light novels too. Like they're not canon, granted, but they add to the story.
Right.
Yeah.
It's more content.
It is more content. It's like because there's actually time that you can take on it. Like it's not like the filler arcs where you're like, I'm gonna skip this because it is a waste of my time.
Yes. Like, oh, let's put vampires in here. Woo!
no, I
the
don't
Bounty?
care.
Stop.
The Bount never happened. It's not real. It doesn't exist.
What,
None of
it's-
that happened.
It's basically episodes like what, like
When I-
65.
Oh, but
or
I was about to
85
say
or
my
whatever it is.
favorite move was from one. No, I'm just kidding.
Son of- when you're watching at the end there, when he's having all those flashbacks of everybody he fought, and that vampire guy shows up, I'm like, oh, this must have been somebody from his childhood because it never happened.
You know, it's just some irrelevant guy, and it's like, well, we had to find some way to nerf the main character, so we were gonna make like some weird loophole rule where things don't work the same way in the living world as they do in the spirit world, so you can't use Bankai anymore. Congratulations.
What?
Kubo's just sitting there like, ah, crap, I forgot to
I
write the
have
next
other power
chapter.
this time, so-
Vampires.
Vampires.
Well,
Let's do it, George.
Well, I mean, actually, no, like vampires were in at the time because that was like during the whole Twilight movie thing.
Oh,
so
well, yeah, I guess
yeah.
there's that.
vampires were in.
I guess.
I think
Well,
they were.
let's be frank. At least they didn't do zombies.
I
I
mean,
don't
the
even wanna
zombies
talk
have really
about it.
been that much worse in the Bound arc.
I don't know. It could be.
Vampire zombies would have been,
Vampire zombie
would have been the
werewolves.
worst thing.
Let's just
Throw 'em
combine
all
them
in
all in there.
There's actually literally like a Halloween like sketch that he did. Like literally all the characters were like a different thing. Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Ichigo was like the Frankenstein, and then you have Rukia is like. See, I can't choose a favorite moveset, and the only reason is because they have such a variety of moves that they can use, and it's one thing I wish they would honestly have done, and maybe they'll expand upon in the last arc, is utilizing all the different skill set. Utilizing all the different skill sets
okay.
more, and like they kind of have to do that.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Right.
like,
Yeah.
to some degree, but like utilizing the basics like keto. 'Cause
Right.
there are
Yeah.
many interesting
Hakuto.
ketos, and like
Keto
Uehara is
diet.
like Uehara is a perfect example of like a
not a
keto
diet.
expert that invents them.
Yes.
Like to have to use like a skill, like kind of skillfully use that as like a tactical weapon, I think would honestly be something that I really wish they would honestly have incorporated more.
So is there a certain character's fighting style that you appreciated that used most of those?
So I mean, if I'm talking about if I'm going to talk about different character fighting styles, I like Yoruichi's for her stealth maneuverability because it is very much like she's very much kind of like a ninja-esque character and she falls in line.
Right.
With that.
Yeah.
Uraharu's is definitely one of like the more enjoyable like tactician kind of fighting styles, and it's just any fight they put him in, it's entertaining to watch. Like when he was fighting number 10, Yami, I think.
Yeah, Yami.
And Yami's just like, why can't I beat you? It's like, oh, you attack this inflatable doll. I mean, nobody else can control it. But I need to test it.
And of course, just like any good old anime, we have to explain everything.
So like his is great. So his is great in terms of like a tactician's point.
Yeah.
Nobody really utilizes Kido all that much, so I can't really comment on that. But in terms of like
Byakuya
a brute force,
and Rukia did
a little bit. Like they only touched on like 3 different Hados and Kidos.
That's true. Yeah.
You know, that's like something.
There's 99 of them. Why can't you use more of them?
Well, I mean, I get it. At the end of the day, it's like a shonen action manga, so like they're gonna do like more blind force. But in terms of like brute force fighting style, it's kind of a toss up between like Ichigo and Kenpachi, because Ichigo's is more of like a brute force, like hit you as fast as I can.
I just figured I'd chop at the bottom, and then eventually I'd be able to hit him on the head.
Good old episode 5. I remember that too. I remember that. Dude, that episode was fantastic. That one was just like, and now I can't actually remember like the Quincy's name right now. I feel. How am I forgetting his name?
Uryu?
Yeah, Uryu. He's like, can't you control your HP? He's like, no.
No.
I don't know how to do that. It's like, you don't shut it off or on. It's like, no, it just does stuff.
It just does it. I can't stop it.
Yeah, like I can't stop it. I can't control it. It just does stuff.
It just does things.
It's just hair. I can't control
What
it.
do you mean control it?
Oh,
what are you talking about?
Yeah, but I mean, that's always like kind of an interesting thing to actually kind of watch too. And I guess Konosuchi's is interesting too because he's so adaptable.
Right.
He changes it around every time he interacts with a different opponent.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
He's basically a Batman. If you give him a chance to prep up, you're done.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
give him a chance to prepare.
Pretty much, you're screwed.
Yeah, so, yeah. I can't say I have one favorite one. There's different characters that I like to watch, but
Yeah.
it's hard to narrow it down, really, realistically.
Yep.
Well, let's go into our final topic. Spoiler warning. The 1,000-Year Blood War. Because you
Here we
guys
go.
have
1,000
read it
years.
in the manga.
We have.
I have heard of it and heard
goes in it.
things.
Spoiler.
What?
Oh yeah.
So here's
Ichigo, there's like a Quincy here and there.
A Quincy.
A Quincy.
Quincy.
Even Quincy.
I am going to say this on my level, and then I'll let you guys kind of go into it, and then kind of it ties into the question. But I want it to be stated that when this happens, I said it first. Spoiler, turn it off if you don't want to hear.
Thank you.
Thank you for watching.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe, please.
Come back later.
I hate you all.
That's not how you get subscribers, so you don't tell them you hate them.
I love
Pander
you
to
guys,
them.
every single one of you.
You pander to them with T-shirts and like coffee
You're
mugs,
amazing.
and then they come back.
We have T-shirts and coffee mugs. Anyways,
I think you have coffee mugs.
We have T-shirts, not coffee mug yet.
I thought you did.
We have our own.
We have our
but-
own coffee
but we
mugs,
don't have
but-
ones to sell.
Okay,
yet.
Not
see,
for them,
you
yeah.
know,
We'll get there.
It needs to be
We'll
available
get
to the
there.
guests at least first to show that it's possible to come.
I
to
know
the
I should have
masses.
gave you the coffee mug.
Well, it's too late now. It's fine. Whatever. My bottle's empty. It's too late.
We're gonna re-record this. Thank you.
We're
We're
gonna
gonna
record
start
it.
all over.
All
So-
right, let's go. Let's go into our final question. Spoilers again.
In the when Bleach ended, when I finally stopped watching when the anime was over, I had predicted, and I think that he kind of verified it for me. I want to see the look on your face when I say this, though. So we know that Ichigo's father was a Soul Reaper. Also, it's funny to me he was a Soul Reaper the whole time, was just watching his son's ass get kicked. Hilarious.
Well, technically, he didn't have any powers at that
Let
point.
the man finish.
Exactly. Thank you, Chris.
Don't overtalk him. Come on.
Chris and I are gonna do this
You
podcast now.
understand?
I predicted that the reason that Ichigo's mother was killed and the fact that she would have been targeted in the first place must have meant that she had an immense amount of spiritual pressure or power. My theory was that Ichigo is actually the product of a Soul Reaper and a Quincy, and that his mother was a Quincy, and that he's going to be getting some
Interesting.
extra powers along this arc, and possibly even like a different version of a sword because of the power, is what my prediction was. I said that to him. He kind of smiled and went, huh. And I was like, am I right?
Well,
Anyway. That's all.
He reads a lot of shonen manga, apparently.
You're not wrong.
You're not wrong.
I am correct. Woo!
I mean,
So-
shonen manga is kind of predictable, but
A lot of it, yeah.
yeah, like I'm not gonna like spoil that for you.
So-
Unless you
That's
really
fine.
want to know, but
Well, I guess my question then is when you guys, go into explaining kind of the manga a little bit more. But my question would be, what are your expectations coming out of the new adaptation of the final arc in the
follow
anime?
the manga.
I do want it to follow.
Like
the
seriously,
manga,
well, seriously, like toted like
but-
every
no,
step.
No, we're being serious. Like,
Yeah.
we both agree. Like, we want it to follow the manga. I want it. I don't want any unnecessary flashbacks. First of all, like
Yes.
no joke. Like the first, no joke. Like the first episode, like I don't need the first episode to be like, oh wait a minute, let me reintroduce you to all the characters. Like, going and assuming that the fan base is the one watching.
Yeah.
And
Right.
if you really need to like do anything for the new people, just like quick cue card, like My Hero Academia does. It's like Ichigo Kurosaki, like Shinigami, and then just
Right,
move on
yeah.
and call
Yeah.
it a day.
Right, yeah.
I don't need all that. You don't really need the flashbacks.
Or at least have, if you want to throw out some episodes that are just recap, have those episodes separate.
No. Don't even do the recap episodes. I'm sorry. Don't even do recap episodes. Because that's like what worked for the Dark Knight so well is that they're like, listen, we're not going to introduce Batman to you. We're assuming you already know. We're just going
Right.
to go right into the
Yeah.
story, and it's great because like you're not wasting time.
That's
But, like,
true.
I don't want flashbacks unless they are an absolute necessity to the story, and there technically is one in there, but it was
Just
like,
put a
done
link
right.
to the whole rest of the series and be
There
like,
is a-
here, go watch it
there
if you
you go.
haven't.
Yeah, like there is like a flashback in there that was absolutely necessary, and they did it right, and they did it well.
Yeah.
Um,
Well,
and-
there are flashbacks that are written as part of the manga.
Yeah, but they were done right. You know what I
Yes.
mean? Like I don't
Yeah.
want an unnecessary like don't go Naruto with your flashbacks on me.
No,
Like I don't want unnecessary flashbacks. There is some story expansion I want to see happen because it did get cut short towards the end of
Oh
the
yes,
line.
definitely. I
So
would
there needs to
definitely
be
love to see-
some story expansion done with certain.
I'd like to
elements
see
of
a
it.
longer end battle.
Yeah,
We've already talked about how Aizen's battle got cut short and was just kind of like a
Yeah,
little
well,
disappointing.
all
so,
the-
like,
Yeah.
all the fights towards the end really got cut short, especially because like he was being rushed to finish it.
yeah.
So yeah, like extend all the fights.
You've had
definitely.
6 years, man.
And well, and to touch base on that,
I only drew 2 storyboards.
well, like, pretty much like
yeah.
there's one story element they use towards the end is like a Deus Ex Machina. Do you remember what that is?
Yes, I think so.
They need to expand on like where did this come from?
Right. Yeah.
Because it was basically like it appeared out of nowhere,
Mm.
yeah.
and that was kind of like everybody. I never remember this. Like everybody's great with it. Was like
Definitely make the battle
did
with
this
Juha
come-
longer.
yeah, like make the battles a lot longer. It definitely just because it's like there's certain fights that there's certain fights. Honestly, if you wiped them out, I wouldn't care. Like get rid of them.
Right. Yeah.
Like there's a certain
I hope they do include the little tidbit at the end though too, with like what happens after everything.
Well, so if they dip into like the 1,000-Year Blood or not that no, I'm sorry. Don't Fear Your Own World. So that's actually a good story. Anybody that hasn't like read the end of the manga though, don't read that because it takes place after the end of the manga. There is like part of the kind of the epilogue into it, or sorry, the prologue into it. They go over like the end of the 1,000-Year Blood War arc.
Okay.
And even though it's not canon, I would like to see them kind of touch base on that because it honestly does hit on an interesting point with Ichigo's character, and it really ties into it well because it was looking at like this may have been one outcome, but it ended up actually being this outcome.
Huh.
And it goes into Ichigo's character, which is
Interesting.
further explained in like a flashback in the 1,000-Year Blood War arc, which they're like it's
Spoiler: he wakes up and it was all a dream.
Yeah,
No, I'm
totally.
just
It's all like an Inception based story.
It was just all a dream.
It was all a dream. None of it was real.
Cone was really the main star of the show.
He's really Yusuke Urameshi that got hit by a car and he was just in a coma. That was all his dream. For anybody that hasn't seen Yu Yu Hakusho, I'm older than you, so honestly, if you haven't seen it, that's probably why.
That's probably why.
Because I was alive during the Toonami days.
Same.
Back when like
Toonami.
Tom was like really short and fat, and the animation style for the ship was really bad. Back when 3D was first coming out.
Right? Yeah.
It was very
Good
choppy
times.
and
The Space Jam 3D.
yeah, basically, it's almost worse than that. It's
Oh,
almost worse
man.
than that.
All right. Well,
What are you expecting out of
Yeah,
it?
what do you expect?
what am I expecting out of it? I told you I want a longer battle at the end. I
Is
want
that it?
That's it?
I don't know. I'm expecting it to come out, I guess. I don't know.
Your bar is really
Shun the
high.
non-believer.
I've
Shun.
been beaten down so much with losing like so many different shows like Stargate and Dark Matter. And, like,
If it makes you feel any better, there's plenty of anime you can watch in the interim that are fantastic that you would enjoy.
Yeah, you should watch my top 10 anime list.
You should.
I have, all right?
I mean, you're part of the channel. I feel like you should have at least at some point. Support your channel.
I've already watched it 4 times. No.
You haven't watched it 5 times? I thought that was the minimum. Like it's like a 5 watch minimum requirement. That way you can absorb.
Yeah.
And then you can do what I do and go into the
Retention.
comments and actually comment.
I will say this as somebody who hasn't read The 1,000-Year Blood War yet, kind of what I'm expecting out of it. And if you haven't watched it and you made it this far, you shouldn't have because there are some spoilers, but whatever. From a fresh perspective, I'm going to say off of the ending of the last arc, I liked it. I didn't enjoy it. It was just there.
So did you see the like Aizen Ichigo thing, or you watched through to like you watched through?
No,
the
he
full
watched
bring.
through
You
the
so
full
you watched
bring.
full.
I
full-
watched
full-
full all the way
Okay,
through.
so you saw
yeah.
full bring. Okay,
Yeah,
I gotcha.
so
You
full
watched
bring
full
was there.
Because
Bring.
Bring.
well, yeah, because like you two have talked about, I didn't know where like your standing on it was.
No,
which is
yeah.
why I was also trying to be cautious about like
So
what
I
I
think
went into with it.
I think the biggest thing that I want to see out of this, and going off of my guess of if Ichigo's mom was a Quincy, I want first to make sure that there is proper storytelling, because for me, somebody who never watched Bleach before, I appreciate it. I appreciate the culture. I appreciate what Kubo was trying to do, but all the Arankar arc
Wrong car.
was a copy of the Soul Reaper Society. I mean, Soul Society arc. I mean,
Yeah.
it was just literally just a copy. So instead of doing,
I mean, it was Aizen trying to set up his own version of the Soul Society, which was just weird. But
You just
upside down.
You just chose evil hollow people.
he just wanted to roll over evil hollow people.
Well, no, sorry. I guess they're not evil. Like some of them have evil intent, but some of them are legitimately like, I just want
Yeah.
to live in peace, and you're here ruining my life.
And I
But
just
you're
want
powerful.
destruction.
You're more powerful than me, so I kind of have to listen to you, and I don't have a choice.
So that's what I think I want to see out of it. Is I don't want to see a repeat. Like I want storyline. So I want a storyline of Ichigo trying to figure out, through it, that he's a Quincy, that coming to fruition. I want to see Aizen's redemption, because from what I remember, he wasn't actually killed. He's just sealed away.
He is sealed away.
So I want to see like a conclusion with those two in that, maybe in a more like drawn out battle in the middle. And then, like, off of that would come whatever the 1,000-Year Blood War is going to be, because I don't know how it comes to be. I don't know who starts that.
Well,
So-
there are a lot of interesting things on it. Like I said,
Yeah.
I do feel like there are certain things they can honestly cut out and it would be fine.
Yeah, yeah.
Like there are characters that are introduced that I would like expand upon because they were very interesting.
Right, yeah.
And certain ones where you're like they're unforgettable. Like I remember like this is what they were supposed
I
to
think
be.
the
but they went
weirdest was
nowhere.
learning about little pink-haired girl. What's her name? The one that's always like hanging
I
off
know
of
the
Kenpachi.
name, but I'm not trying.
Yeah.
We're not trying. What is it with you trying to spoil things for people? You troll.
You troll.
Your picture should be the troll in your phone, not me.
I want to see Nell. What happened to Nell?
I mean, I'm not gonna say anything.
She just disappeared.
Yep, she's gone forever.
Oh, she's back.
Okay, so
Gone forever.
you're talking about like I don't want to spoil things, but here you go.
I'm not spoiling anything.
Yeah, you are. You're like, let me make these side comments. Like,
Nonchalantly, as I look off into
let
space.
let me make these side nonchalant comments. It doesn't hint at anything.
She works at Starbucks, okay? No.
She has the Starbucks logo. How dare you undersell her?
How dare you spoil that?
How dare you undersell her
There's
importance to
there's a
Starbucks?
scene where he goes to the coffee shop. He's like, I'd like a mocha, please. And he's like, oh, no.
This was a Zompacto, not a coffee.
Well, I mean, in Soul Society, they do sell Zanpakuto coffee.
Coffee.
It's how you regain your reishi. When the fourth squad's not around to refill you with keto, you go get a coffee cup and a
Keto coffee.
Keto coffee.
It
They
is
have
it's
keto coffee.
It's
healthy.
It is. Well, I mean, it's all organic apparently. That's what I've been told.
Oh, man.
Or like the squad for, I got the energy pill. I feel so energized.
Yeah, they have like a squad force, like the 5-hour energy shot equivalent.
Yeah. I feel so energized.
Well, I mean, those pills are like controlled substances for them. You have to give them out sparingly. You can't just hand out the pills like candy.
Yeah, that guy had. I forget what his name was. Yeah, like
There's a lot of guys you can't remember apparently.
the guy with the stuff that went under the tunnels.
You're talking about the little. You're talking about dude, I can't remember his name, but he was like.
No, you can't even remember his name.
Well,
either.
I can't because you know what? It's one of those things where like he's a great character that's underutilized,
Yeah, yeah.
and I wish I could remember his name because he's kind of like Tally from South Park, where like he's a useless character, but he's also a great character at the same time.
Something like that. Yeah.
No, that's what he is. Like Forest Squad Barracks, he's like
Yeah.
he's useless but useful.
This is true.
Think about it, like he could
Knew the
not fight, but he was in the tunnels. He's like, oh, let me heal you, and then you can just keep on going.
It's fine. I'm full of energy.
Well, think about when Orihime is not there, he is the white mage of the group.
That's
And
true.
the rule is you do not mess with the white mage of your group.
That's the rules. You heard it here.
If you ever was Dragon Ball Abridged, Dende de
Yes,
Vegeta,
yes.
one of the best lines in that entire
Dragon
series.
Ball Bridge was one of the best YouTube
Why
series
won't-
ever
it's
to
like,
come out.
Why won't you heal me? It's like because
'Cause
you effed with the white mage. And nobody effs with the white mage. It's true. Like I played D&D with like some guys like way back when, and like the one guy we hang out with, Kelly, he was the paladin and like healer of the group.
Yeah.
I made him mad one time, just like because I just kept pounding him like, please heal me. He's like, I'm gonna let you suffer now. And I learned that hard lesson. Like you don't piss off the white mage.
No, just keep on
It's
going.
dangerous. Just keep on going.
Just keep on going.
Exactly.
Oh.
All right.
Well, I think that's going to wrap us up
Pretty
here,
much,
unless you
yeah.
guys have any final comments.
Just there is one thing I can add to it, which I'm hoping this like follows up on our. We hope that they expand the story because Kubo did come out with a comment like
Okay.
when somebody asked him like, "Are you going to expand upon characters in their Bankais?" He's like, "Maybe."
Maybe.
Well, he kind of hinted at it, but it was very elusive to like, is it going to be part of the anime where he does it, or is it going to be part of the continuing manga that follows after the 1,000-Year Blood War arc? Which
So he's going to start.
did you not
new
see?
manga?
So there's a one shot that comes out
Yeah.
after it that was released last year. It's actually on Viz's website. You can still read it, and then it's available online.
Huh.
It's called this isn't the exact name, so I apologize, but it's like the Jowls of Hell, somewhere along that line. It was
we'll
a
find
one,
it. And put
it was a
in the description.
one-shot chapter that was really interesting, and I think they honestly actually picked up on like, hey, we'll let you continue it because there's been discussion on it, but he's allowed to do it at his own pace,
Okay.
which is nice because it
That
means
would
it
be
really
wonderful.
should be. Like that's the thing mangakas run into a lot. Like I understand, like I'm one of those like fanboys where it's like I want to read a manga on a weekly basis, and we get annoyed when they need to take a break.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
But in all honesty, like they get overworked.
Yeah.
And that the
Oh,
story
yeah.
suffers for it all the time. You can see it in like different
Oh
series.
yeah. Definitely.
And that's what I love about his Burn the Witch series, is
Yeah,
that
he
he
was able
took
to take his
time
pace.
on the
And
manga.
Burn the Witch was really
And it
well
was-
done.
yeah.
Like when he can take his time on the story, because he's an amazing artist.
Well,
It
that's
doesn't
only
matter.
like a
he
few
can draw
episodes
like a
of the anime, though, right?
What's that?
The anime of that is
Well,
only like a
so
few
they did make an
episodes.
anime
Yeah.
OVA off of it because like Burn the Witch was so popular, but it was really flushed out and really well
Yeah.
done.
It was a really well drawn manga. It was a really well
His
done
artwork's
story
always really
through
good.
it.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah,
now he could connect his artwork with his actual storyline instead of being rushed and be like, crap, I have to fit all this into 3 episodes.
Right.
Yeah, and like because you're rushing in like a week, you didn't have to do that.
Yeah.
Wait,
feel
he's
like-
Russian?
He's a Russian.
Russian.
Awesome. Well, hey, Chris, thanks for joining us.
Yeah, I appreciate
we
having
appreciate
me.
it.
Thank you for showing me the YouTube magic.
Yes, the wonderful YouTube
I've never
magic.
been on the other side of the cameras. This is new.
Well, actually, extend an invitation to you if you'd like to rejoin us.
Yeah.
I'm more than happy to. Just
When we go, when Bleach launches, how about we all get together, watch the first episode, and
When
throw that
Bleach
bad boy on
launch-
Patreon?
When
It
Bleach
will-
launches.
Huh?
Okay, you were a non-believer and you're disappointing me.
Yeah.
Right now. You were not allowed to speak at all during that episode until it's over.
Maybe we'll watch the episode together.
We
That's
should
what I was
watch
gonna
the
say. We
episode.
should
That's
watch
what
it
he was
together
saying.
and put it on
We'll do a-
Patreon.
Kind of like
There
a
you go.
And
react.
we'll do a react
We'll do a special
Patreon.
Patreon. Go
We
support
will.
us on Patreon.
If you-
// Collection of Madness.
If we can get 20 likes on this video, we'll do that. And even if we don't, we'll still do it. But if we can get 20 likes on this
We'll
video,
do it even
that.
more.
Yeah.
I mean, the 20 likes would at least help my self-esteem.
There you go. Help Chris's
Make
self-esteem.
me feel better inside. That's
Don't worry about the channel at all.
Don't worry about
A
us.
man's self-esteem is on the line.
that literally is. That's all that matters.
20 likes.
Anymore.
Like it now.
But you can visit us at patreon.com/collection of madness. Check out our cool content out there. We just uploaded a couple new videos there you guys can check out. We're also available on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. And, of course, make sure to subscribe to the channel. Hit the like, guys. Helps us out a lot. We would appreciate it a lot.
A lot.
A lot.
A lot.
They really would.
All right.
really would.
We'll see you next time.
See ya.